This is a special day for us at Florida Atlantic University. Without further ado, I don't know how many have had the opportunity to meet our president, but obviously this has been a great experience for he and I, because we got to engage with some quality people, but we ended up with the exact person who's the right fit for us. So our president, John Kelly.
Thank you very much, and I want to thank all of you for coming out this evening. We have a very special announcement to make tonight. First of all, my goal is that Florida Atlantic University become one of this nation's most nationally prominent institutions. And we've made a great step tonight. We're bringing to your attention tonight a person who's educated future leaders, a person who is expecting the same in his student athletes. We're looking for a leader who can serve as a mentor to our basketball players, be a leader for our athletic department and all our students, and also someone who is a role model for the community. As our athletic director will detail, Michael Curry joins FAU with 2 decades of basketball experience. Michael's career has been a success on the court, but most importantly is his leadership off the court. Michael brings to FAU an extensive background in collegiate basketball. He was a player and coach at the sport's very highest level, the National Basketball Association. He also has the intimate knowledge of the business of basketball. We're confident Michael Curry is going to be a winner. He's going to be our men's basketball coach. He's going to be a leader. We're confident he is going to help us educate and graduate future leaders. These are all reasons why Michael is the right fit for FAU. And let me say, having met Michael personally, he is a man of the highest integrity. He is a person that's going to be out in the community. He's a person that we're all going to be able to respect, a person that we're going to look up to, and a person that the young men who come play for him will lead a life of integrity, a life of leadership, and a life of commitment to serving others. I'd like to introduce now, you've already met him, but Pat Chun, the athletic director, to make the formal announcement.
First of all, I'd like to thank President Kelly for all his support, insight, counsel throughout this process. I'd also like to thank David Keon from our General Counsel Office for his work in a very quick time frame here. First of all, on behalf of our university, our local community here, we're ecstatic to welcome Katrina and Michael to Boca Raton, to Florida Atlantic University. You will find a wonderful community that wants to embrace FAU. In all of our dealings, this community wants us to be successful at the highest levels. You will feel that love. They will embrace you, and I'm excited to see how they react when you guys embrace them back. But this is a growing community that really wants us to do well, and I believe we're heading in that direction. Today is a momentous day for our athletic program and our men's basketball program. We have recruited and attracted a uniquely qualified person to lead our program. Ultimately, if you heard Dr. Kelly's comments, that theme leadership was really at the forefront of how we profiled our next head basketball coach. We want a basketball team or basketball program that really understands what culture is, what excellence means. To get to that point, we really needed to take a step back and really define what leadership in that program was meant to be. When I started to do my due diligence on Michael, his reputation in the circles of basketball, the 2 things that popped out of people's mouth: unquestioned integrity, unquestioned character. And then for us, that's actually a non-negotiable to be a coach at FAU. So as you do more digging, do more due diligence, you find out, wow, that's not 1 or 2 people that believe this. It's everybody in and around the sport of basketball at the highest of levels, at the high school levels, at the college levels. And it all comes back to, at the end of the day, we're all the sum of our collective experiences. And he brings a extraordinary life experience, professional experiences to FAU. Michael earned a bachelor's degree at Georgia Southern in business administration, master's degree at Virginia Commonwealth. He did that while he was an active NBA player. Literally, when you hear all of his basketball experiences, he literally has a PhD in basketball. From a playing perspective, he started in Germany, but ended up with 11 years of NBA experience for different teams. Ended up being head coach with the Detroit Pistons, most recently the associate head coach with the Philadelphia 76ers. Deeper than that, he was a vice president for operations for David Stern in the NBA offices, vice president for the NBA Developmental League, spent 4 years as president of the NBA Players Association. So when you put the whole package together, you're really taken aback and saying, wow, this guy has done so much in such a little bit of time. but really it's a testament to what we had talked about. You are who you are habitually. That's really what he sold Dr. Kelly and I. And when you study Michael Curry and you get to know his reputation in the business, he's done it through hard work. I mean, to do it for 11 years in the NBA like he did it, it's character, hard work, fortitude, and commitment to be the best you can be. We believe all these will translate to be a very successful, highly successful Division I men's basketball coach. You guys understand our business is really focused on the recruitment and development of student athletes. We believe that his unique skill sets and his reputation in the sport of basketball will immediately have trust amongst high school coaches, AAU coaches, which obviously will lead to a different pool of young people we can attract to our university in terms of recruiting. Michael is a leader. In a majority of all of our really in our first conversation we had, we talked about life coaching. And that was probably the thing that we probably need the most today. But we also understand, you guys have been around me long enough, we believe in this model wholeheartedly, that if you develop the whole person, we're going to get a better student athlete. We believe Michael Curry is that person to get us there. We're ecstatic that he's our next head coach. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, our new head men's basketball coach, Michael Curry.
Wow, thank you. Dr. Kelly and your staff, and Patrick and his staff, and everyone that came out. I want to just say thank you from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot. And for my wife, who, when I told her I wanted to go on a different career path, believing in me and allowing me to run all around the country with her this year in the truck and catch 1 million basketball games so that I can be as prepared as possible with the high school and the collegiate game. And I want to thank her for that. You know, when we first sat down and talked, I came back, as my wife said, I came back from the meeting and I was smiling all day. Not just because I had the opportunity to talk about the head coaching position, but I actually thought that our conversation, that meeting, was more about doing things the right way to have success in life. The meeting went a good 3+ hours. We all sat right there and gave back and forth great information about what it takes to be successful, because everyone knows that to be successful in life, you know, a lot of the same characteristics and a lot of the same things you have to be and you have to do. We talked about working hard, being prepared, being disciplined, making good choices. The same things that we will be teaching our student athletes. We always have to remind ourselves we have to walk that same walk in order for them to follow it, because they actually follow what we do better than they do what we say. So we have to be what we say to our student athletes, and as a leader, we all have to do that. But we talked a lot about basketball. I was pleased with the opportunity to come in and share why I felt that this would be a great opportunity for us to join together. But the biggest thing that I took out of that was we constantly talked about having, you know, organizational alignment. And from Dr. Kelly on down, everybody lined up together, pulling in one direction for one common goal, to continue to grow Florida Atlantic University, as well as develop young men and women for the other sports. For this sport, the young men, make them better student athletes, make them better men. One of the things I talked about was that when I talk to parents about their young men attending Florida Atlantic, one of the things that I always would tell them is I want a young man that when he's finished, he has the opportunity to sit down at 9 o'clock with a suit on and interview for a Fortune 500 company. After that meeting, go put on his basketball gear and work out for a professional team. Now, that's a well-rounded young man. But with that, as I tell parents, and I will continue to tell them, it takes a lot of work. It's not easy. It's not easy to be successful in life. It's not easy to become a professional basketball player. But one thing I know is if you put the work in and we have the group together and we will put a great staff together that we can give you the blueprint and we're going to be on you really, really hard to achieve the things that you as a student athlete, your parents, guardians, or anyone in their support group want for them. And that's what we plan on doing. On the court, we're going to be really good defensively. I believe you win championships with defense and rebounding. As we know, I'm sure we heard the same thing with football. You got to win in the trenches. Doesn't matter. You got to win in the trenches. And in basketball, you got to win in the paint. So that's twofold. Offensively, we want to get to the paint. We think having a good flow offensively, getting into the paint, dribble penetration with the pass, getting in there, either finishing at the rim or getting to the free throw line, or spreading the ball out so we can get three-point shots. That's the kind of offensive flow. Those are some of the general principles. Protecting the paint defensively, protecting the three-point line, because the game has changed. It's funny, when I came out of college in 1990, I had an opportunity to start a professional career in Europe. And when I went to Europe, the game was played. They would drive in and throw it back out for a three-point shot. And we had the big guy standing out on the perimeter, and he was 6'11", and he really could shoot the three. And my first 2 weeks, I was telling the big guy, get in the paint, get in the paint. And they was like, no, he can really shoot the three-point shot. And I was like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And how crazy am I that, 24 years later, the game has evolved to where it's a wide open game. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch the different skill sets that all size players can have. And we want to recruit guys that can do that. We think if we play a style of basketball that's fun, we can do that. We talk to the players and talk to them about today. Everyone has a clean slate. We begin today to build for the future. We have a short time left before school is out, before the summer sessions start. And we have a short session before we bring in some other players, for the next season. And one of the things I told the guys today is we got to clean up our house first before we bring in any guest. So when we bring in young players, whether it's other freshmen, whether it's a transfer, whatever players we bring in, we want them to come in and see how we're going to operate on a day-to-day basis. So they only see things done the right way. But before we can do that, we got to make sure we understand about doing it the right way and that we are doing it the right way. And so we're going to start that process on tomorrow. But my wife and I are ecstatic to be here, to be a part of a community, and call the place home. We've traveled so much. We was talking in the back. It seemed like all my offers in the NBA came from cold weather places. And so, we was always sitting around wondering if we're going to get an offer from a warm weather place. And no better time to get it now when those 15 years of pro ball are sort of wearing on my body now that now I'm in a warm place. But more importantly, I'm with a warm group of people that really believe in doing things the right way. And, I was excited. Then when I came back in for the next meeting, Dr. Kelly had me, I had goosebumps. I couldn't go to sleep. My wife was like, go to bed. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, we got to be good. We got to be really good. And if I get this job, you know, I got to make him proud, because he really wants the athletic program to mirror the great job that everyone has done here with the academics. And we want to continue to help grow this brand and be a part of it and do something really special. And that's what we're here to do. And I'm very excited to be here and be a part of it. And once again, thank all of you all for coming out. I know we'll take some questions, but really thank you for coming out. And both of you all, really thank you for the opportunity. And I'm gonna make you proud.